Yo, it's Brian here. Today, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As always, looking at the offensive side of the ball, pre-draft, pre-training camp, anything before the regular season. But this is going to be very early on this offseason program. Anything is subject to change. For right now, we should be getting some more additions to the roster via the draft. Just for right now, post-free agency, and between then, this is just the evaluation of the offensive side of the ball. Tomorrow, I'll do the defensive side of the ball. That should be a fun time, right? Anyways, going to get the video started. Hope you guys are having a great day on a Tuesday. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. Hey, middle of the week. We're stuck in our homes pretty much. Going to get the video started, but before I do, please like and subscribe. That's going to definitely help me out a lot. Click that bell notification. You can notify of future videos. Share the channel. Share this content with fellow Niner faithfuls. Let's get this started. 49ers, offensive side of the ball. What to make of it. How do I like this offense so far? Time to talk about the 49ers offensive side of the ball. Looking at it post-free agency, pre-draft, very early on in the offseason. If I'm looking at this evaluation, I am really liking what this offense is doing right now. For free agent splash moves, they didn't make any because they really couldn't. They didn't have a lot of money to work with, but they did get a lot of guys coming back to the 49ers, which is awesome news right there. That is going to keep the continuity of this whole offense. Guys like Matt Breida, Kendrick Bourne, Ross Dwelly, and Ben Garland, they are going to be back with us in San Francisco. We do have a couple of subtractions from this team. Mike Person, he did get released by the 49ers, mostly for a cap-saving move. Also, the biggest notable loss is the wide receiver position. Emmanuel Sanders, the veteran guy, he is leaving to go to the New Orleans Saints by now. That's going to be a big loss in my opinion because of the leadership, the ability to mentor these young guys. Deebo Samuel, I know they benefited big time from having him from Denver in the middle of the season. I think they really flourished later on in the season because of him. Early on, they were struggling mightily, but with Sanders coming along, I think that was a big help for them. I expect that to be kind of a loss, but hopefully the 49ers in the draft, maybe along the lines of free agency, in the next week or two, they can find a veteran guy or draft somebody within the first round, probably the 13th overall pick, because that's where the best receivers are, in my opinion. Lots of options right there. Look at the offense in general, from quarterback all the way to the offensive line. Jimmy Garoppolo, big topic for this offense. Is he the guy? I still believe he's the man. A lot of people are still doubting this guy. I think a lot of people are writing him off now because we lost the Super Bowl, but I don't think so. I think Jimmy G, he can have one of those seasons where he just breaks out and becomes one of the great quarterbacks in the NFL. Everyone has to remember that this is his second year full-time starting for the 49ers. He really didn't have a lot of starts prior to 2019. He had maybe a handful of starts, but other than that, there was not a lot of full starts until last year. He did a great job, in my opinion. He was able to make big plays. People were saying, oh, the defense, they were just carrying him all along. That was kind of true for the first half of the season, but when the defense started falling a little bit because of the injuries, when Jimmy G's name had to be stepped up, he definitely stepped up big time. I can name all those games that he had a nice comeback for us in San Francisco, but I won't do that because I've done that so many times now. But New Orleans Saints, that's probably the biggest example right there. I expect him to have a breakout year in 2020. I know Shanahan and Mike LaFleur, the passing game coordinator, they're going to give him the keys to this offense even more. I believe they're going to trust him even more. I know in the playoffs they were a little bit shaky because of his interceptions. They gave it to the running games. They gave it to Raheem Mostert for the most part. They did a really good job on that, but I expect Jimmy G to throw the ball a little bit more because I know teams are still daring him to throw the ball, and he can make big plays definitely. I have a lot of faith in him. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys that have been on my channel for a while now, you guys have a lot of faith in him. It's just a lot of people outside of San Francisco, maybe the minority people in the San Francisco fan base, don't believe in him. I believe in him with 100% of my life. Yeah, I know, right? Anyways, I think he's the man. Running back position, I believe that's no question one of the best positions for us in San Francisco. When you have Bobby Turner as your running backs coach, when you have Shanahan running that zone blocking scheme, it's one of the best running games. Second in the league in rushing with 3 different running backs. I expect pretty much the same production. Even if we had different running backs for other teams, I still believe anybody that comes to the 49ers, they will flourish perfectly because this system is very running back friendly. They can almost plug anybody in, have no problem at all. That's the best part about the running back committee, is that you don't have to pay one guy. I mean, look at the LA Rams, Todd Gurley, man, they just ate up a lot of cap money. They had just cut him recently. Having 3 guys that are reliable, keep the bodies fresh, keep everybody on their heels, the defense on their heels as well. I think that's a really good thing for the 49ers running back. That's the one position I am fully confident of, whether it's Raheem Mostert, whether it's Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman, or anybody else, Jeff Wilson Jr., they could just plug anybody in and it'd be no problem at all. We've seen it every time Shanahan turn when they go together, whether it's in Washington, Atlanta in the past, they've had success with the running game, no question at all. Wide receiver position, this is probably the most shaky part of this offense. What is going to be happening then? The only confident guy that I feel the most is Deebo Samuel. Other than that, Kendrick Bourne somewhat, but he's kind of inconsistent. He needs to really work on his hand. He's had some really good games for the 49ers. He's had some nice clutch plays, but other than that, he's had a lot of drops. Hopefully he's working on that during this offseason. I'm pretty sure he is. They just need to get other guys on the receiver position to be more reliable, I guess you want to call it. You have other talent like Richie James Jr. who can get things going when everything is down. I hope they can use him more as a wide receiver. Yeah, just other than that, I mean, minus Kendrick Bourne, minus Deebo Samuel, nobody else is pretty much proven. You have Trent Taylor, Jalen Hurd coming back, but there's a lot of big questions for them when they come back. Are they going to be proven correct? Are they going to be those guys that the 49ers can rely on? So the 13th overall pick, I think that's going to be a big question mark, because if they draft somebody within the 13th overall pick, then they are banking that guy, whoever it is, whether it's Ruggs, Zerdy, or CeeDee Lamb, to be that top guy along with Deebo. If they don't draft anybody with the 13th overall pick, if they just wait until maybe in the middle of the round, then they're trusting Taylor and Hurd would be the guys to lead the offense in terms of the receivers along with Samuel. A lot of questions there. I believe the 49ers, they can do something well. And also Shanahan, he used to be a wide receiver, so he should know a thing or two about picking receivers, but for whatever reason, for the past couple of years, we've been struggling to get wide receivers minus Samuel. Offensive line, no problem at all in my opinion. You do have to think about Joe Staley getting a little bit older. That's the big question right there, but other than that, I believe everybody else is going to be looking good. Sean Coleman, he's coming back to the 49ers. He was injured last year, so he didn't have a chance to play with us. Ben Garland, he did a really good job. Weston Richburg, he's coming back. The center position might have a little bit of competition there. Mike McGlinchey, Lincoln Tomlinson, those guys, they are just awesome. Offensive line, for the most part, I think it's pretty much intact, although they do have to think long-term about Joe Staley and what they're going to do about that. Finally, George Kittle, what can I say about him? One of the best tight ends in the league. I don't have to say anything else about number 85 at all. They're going to pay him next year. They already got rid of DeForest Buckner, so they already made up their mind pretty much to re-sign Kittle to a long-term deal, and that's probably the right move, in my opinion, for 2020. That's pretty much it, you guys. Please let me know what you guys think about the offense so far for the 49ers pre-draft and post-free agency. I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up tomorrow on a Wednesday. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day. Hot boys.